Hey everybody, my name is Armando Garcia, and today we'll be presenting interpersonal skills. This is the group project assigned to us. Um, so let's get started. The context, part of when I did the skills assessment test, the main focus or the lowest part I scored in was the group speaking or the public speaking approachness approachness to other people. Um, I find it a little bit difficult when it comes to that because it's kind of like two factors. So one, I'm like an introvert, so I don't really thrive in that environment. So I don't really um, like approaching people and trying to get conversations. Um, I guess growing up, the majority of the friends or relationships that I built have been where they approach me and we get to talking and then we like each other or whatever and we build a relationship based off of that. I've never really been the person to make that step or make that approach to try to build a relationship, and then so that's kind of like I believe that's why I scored lower on that area than any other part. I also tend to not um, focus as much when it comes to projects if they don't catch my interest. I mean, I'll still do the work and all that, but it'll be like smooth sailing. I'll just be hanging out in the back, doing my part, but it's not something that I'll go the extra mile and have extra conversations to prove a point or prove something that I'm not interested in. And it's totally opposite. If I'm really interested in that project or something, then I tend to speak my mind a little bit more and try to get everybody to pay attention to or have different perspectives, try to understand a different perspective or empathize with someone or whatever the situation is. But again, it's like 50-50. If I'm interested in the topic, we'll do it. If it's not, then I'll just try to hang back, get it over with, and just get it done. Um, some of the opportunities where I can take where I've been taking effect on this is at the school pickup. So I got 3 kids. I'm a full time student, stay at home dad, and the only place I go is home, school, pick up kids, the daycare. So it's really difficult for me to have those or to try to practice something. But when I do, it's during that time frame. I know one of the instances I've been talking to one of the other dads, picking up my kids, or if they see that my kids go to the same class as them, try to approach them, try to build a relationship. That way, when it comes to like the weekends or my wife stays off, we always try to do something within to build our community, to build our new foundation here in California. So a lot of our friends are still back in Texas, so it's still a little bit more difficult. I mean, we're only a 2 hour delay, but if it's 8 p.m. over here, it's already 10 over there. By the time my wife gets out, if we want to call somebody, it's a little bit more difficult to get those conversations. I also tend to be a little bit more reserved, so that also makes it a little bit more difficult for me to just try to, hey, how you doing, how's it going, to someone in whatever case scenario. I get a little bit anxious, so that's something that I've been trying to work on, try to get out of my shell. Opportunities. Again, we go to the social group speaking. Some of the opportunities is this class. I've been reading some of the content and it's been fairly useful. I mean, the breathing techniques and emotional intelligence and all that has been a little bit eye-opening, so you can have a better understanding or I'll have a better understanding of what we're talking about or how to approach things, how to empathize with someone, how to approach someone. So it's fairly eye-opening, and again, I mainly use the not interested part about hanging back, and I'm a big guy too, so if when it comes to approaching somebody, I'm a little bit intimidating. I have the natural uh, the natural eyebrow, the natural angry face. So it's a little bit difficult for people just to come up to me and talk to me. So now it's like when I have to make the first approach, especially living here, not having anybody, not having any connections, it's a little bit more where I have to take the first step to build those relationships. I chose this opportunity because it was like one of the areas where I scored the lowest. I scored pretty high in every other area, and I think it's just been because of the professionalism or my experience in the business world. So it's kind of like you talk to your people, talk to your supervisors, talk to the owners and stuff like that. So I've had several conversations and several opportunities to learn and grow from every communication aspect that I've had. Um, but this is the main one I still struggle in. Public speaking, again, I might find it, again, it's a 50-50. So I find it difficult if I'm not interested in the topic, but if I am interested, then I'll go above and beyond, give it 100%. I'll know what I'm talking about, but again, if it's something that I'm not interested in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I just try to rip the band-aid off and get it out of the way. This can help us build new friendships, new relationships, whether they be, parents or other parents or business coworkers or any connection opportunities that we can build. This is something that will be beneficial for us in the long run. Behavior. Um, so what I'm doing differently now is I'm trying to be a little bit more talkative to what I normally am. So it's to where, hey, how's the weather? Or hey, I noticed that your kid is in my kids class. I'm doing this on this Saturday. Do you guys want to hang out? Or trying to do a play date. So it has, yes, it will impact my kid in a positive way, but that way we can also have social relationship with somebody else. And that way, they say the more you surround your people with, or the more you surround yourself with people, the easier it is for you to thrive in an environment. So we try to build those positive influences whenever we can. Um, I also try to find common ground. So again, I go back to my kids. I try to see if I see someone with a tattoos. Try to talk about tattoos. If I see someone with a cool shirt, hey, I also like graphic tees. Or I'm a big fan of anime, so I love Naruto. I love One Piece. Or if I see somebody with your beard, hey, how are you growing your beard? I'm trying to grow my beard out, or trying to make that first approach is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to communicate with one another so that way we build that one-on-one. And I see a lot of videos where it's kind of it's easier for the male to make a friendship where like, hey, that's a nice color shirt, I like your shirt, and then they become best friends. And then you see the women's perspective, and it's a little bit more difficult for them. They wear the same shirt and then they get angry or stuff like that. So it's I find it a little bit humoring when I see those type of videos that they say it's easier for men to make build relationships like that. So that's something that I'm trying to focus on, trying to build that same relationship with someone. Just trying to find a common ground so you can build relationship into that. For the future, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit difficult. So I'm not. Uh, Again, it's a little bit difficult for me to come out of my shell, but I am still working on it. I am still communicating with other dads. Recently, I just talked to one of my daughter's friend's dad, and he's like in the same situation I'm in. We just moved out here from out of state. He's not working at the time. He's trying to pursue to get further his education. His wife is the one that took a promotion and is now the steady income of the household. So we're in the same relationship. I'm focusing on my education, trying to better myself in that way. My wife took the promotion, so she's now like the breadwinner. And now I'm the full-time student homemaker. So it's a little bit it's like a huge 360, and talking to someone, I would never have met someone if I didn't make that approach to them. If I would have never said, hey, my daughter's in your daughter's class and they're best friends, do you guys want to hang out and have a play date? If I would have never made that first approach, we would not have built this relationship. Right now we're still more of acquaintances. We'll hang out once in a while, but eventually this acquaintanceship can build into a friendship, and it'll be a lot easier when it comes to speaking publicly or approaching somebody publicly. Um, and again, it's going to build those positive perspective. I see his perspective on what he's trying to do, and it might not be the same career field as what I'm going for, and he may have different goals than what I have. But again, we're learning from one another, and this is something that will be a positive influence. And seeing someone in the same boat kind of just gives you that pump up, like, hey, you got it, you can make it, you can make it. It's like motivation for one another. With this said, we'll keep on working on this, and we'll keep you all updated. Have a great day.